Hey, welcome back to the stash.
Now I'm sure you all know by now that Spider-Man comics, they fucking suck. The men known to the world as Zeb Wells and Nick Lowe have made it their personal goal to destroy all that we fans of Spider-Man hold so near and dear to our hearts, and well, they succeeded. Whether it was introducing Paul into the books purely to just ruin Peter and Mary Jane's relationship, or even a more simple thing like straight up writing everyone to be out of character, the dynamic duo made sure to pull no punches when it came to making our hero the biggest loser imaginable. Oh sure, Mephisto, you sly devil. Oh sorry, wait. Obviously, back when One More Day happened, we considered that to be us hitting rock bottom. But man, let me tell you, since then, it's only gotten much worse. So join us today as we go over the latest installment of the series, The Amazing Spider-Man issue 54, the horrifying conclusion of the Spider-Goblin.
Now before we go over the state of the books, thanks to Zeb Wells and Nick Lowe, as well as just how pathetic those two are in general, I'll quickly go over the story just to catch everyone up to speed. We pick up right where we left off last time. The spear used to unleash the sins of the Goblin back into Peter is piercing through Norman's chest. Once again, the Spider-Goblin lives, but this time it seems his master plan is on the verge of success. All the assets of Norman Osborn are close to being transferred to Peter's name, and the light that shines so bright in our hero is on the brink of total despair. Back up top, Kamala is desperately trying to break the lid in order to try to help Spider-Man. KRAVEN threatens her, however, that the only way to gain entrance is to face him. It turns out, due to the first Spider-Goblin dance we had way back when, the Goblin now has taken a liking to Peter's soul, mind, and abilities. But then by some slim chance, Norman catches Peter off guard and stabs him with the spear Pete tinkered with beforehand. And now, in case you have forgotten, he merged it with the Winkler device as a way to trap the Sins and contain them. Now, if things weren't already dumb enough, I present to you another thrilling episode of a whole bunch of stupid shit. So even though Peter's free from the Sins, the programming the Goblin did still has some sort of control over his mind, which then causes him to whack the device against the wall, sending the Sins back into Norman. Obviously he won't be in there for long, so they throw a couple of strikes at one another, also the Gobbler deeds can revert back into old Tom Holland. Norman then heroically reclaims the Sins as technically this is all his fault, and hits Peter like Hank does to Janet.
Why you boring me? I'm right.
In a quick moment of rest, he confides within the walking brain's head about what he should do next. He assures Peter that the secret weapon is simply himself. So with the power of encouragement, he takes the Sins back, but however this time, he fights back to the point where they actively try to escape his mind, only for him to mentally pull the Sins back into his body. Norman attaches the Winkler device to Pete, which has now merged with the walking brain, which results in a poor man's version of the one seen in Spectacular Spider-Man. Now obviously Pete wins the mental battle and the Green Goblin Sins phase out of existence, finally ending this nightmare. We go back up to see that Kamala in the end of course defeated KRAVEN, and unfortunately the freak known as Wreck-Rap managed to survive the glider impalement. So just everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. You know, I can't. This is insanely bad. It's so bad that it makes Howard Mackey's run on Spider-Man look actually decent. That's how bad this is. Now the story ends with Norman wishing that him and Peter could one day be friends, with Pete replying with, "Crazier things have happened." Need I remind you? I have no idea where to begin with this one. Seriously, they want to justify that everything bad Norman did was never his fault. What? What? The whole split personalities thing didn't work with Harley Quinn, and it doesn't work with Norman Osborn. He's still responsible for everything bad he did. Peter forgiving him just like that didn't work at the beginning of the run, and it still doesn't work at the ending of this stupid run. He basically lied, suggesting that we should just excuse him for killing his son, his friends, his girlfriend, and torturing them all in horrible ways. He even, just trying to kill Peter in general would have been bad enough. I'm so sorry, but it's one thing for a villain to do something terrible once and make a genuine mistake, but Norman went far beyond that. Peter already cured him before, and he was still always a jerk. Even before the Goblin, he was involved in some incredibly shady things. In the parallel comic Shadow of the Green Goblin, which is just retconning basically, an early, I think year 1 of Spider-Man's story, it tells us that Norman, before injecting himself with the toxin, literally tested it on multiple people, ruining their lives in the process and killing them. It's just, I don't know. Of course we shouldn't even be surprised anymore. Marvel just no longer cares about continuity. Nothing makes sense. We've got several fucking books set within the 616, yet all of them make no effort to actually feel connected in any way, shape, or form. There's been genuinely no sort of attempt by these hacks to make it link. Everything contradicts everything, and with each release, it just makes it all more confusing.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
For the Green Goblin's big send-off, it was just so fucking poorly written and extremely underwhelming. The first half of the comic is just Peter and Norman trading the Goblin spirit like Peter and Harry did to MJ in the Sam Raimi trilogy. It wouldn't even surprise me if they end up still giving Oscorp to Peter so he can give it this massive redemption arc. However, it would be such a huge step back for the character if he got a billion-dollar company, lost it, and got a new one all in less than a decade. You know what? This entire issue just felt like the result of an editor and a writer not knowing what the fuck either of them are doing. The back and forth part was so pointless and just there as a way to extend the reading time. I love as well just how the book abruptly ends with the last page just being a massive "the end." Even when I first read this, it just caught me completely off guard because it genuinely felt like there was only about maybe 20 words of dialogue in total within this book. It just harkens back to the whole brand new day Spider-Man comics are just brain slop with brain dead action. Now I want to quickly focus our attention to Nick Lowe, the man behind the creepy Wolverine Mary Jane story, and who's now the editor of the books, and who has been for a while now. A major part of the death of Spider-Man comics has him solely to blame, especially with his treatment of fans, with him notoriously known for straight up telling readers of the book, hey, you're just reading it wrong. And even showing letters in the letters section, only to dismiss the essay-long concerns from fans, and here it's no different. In fact, it's somehow worse. This, honestly, when I first read it, it enraged me so much, and it still does. So basically, this man who clearly adores Spidey wrote this massive essay. I mean, it's so big, it had to span over 2 pages. And in it, he explains his love and rightful concern over the ASM books, especially with the way things have gone with Peter and Mary Jane. He explains in detail the many writing issues with the way they've handled their relationship and how, in short, none of this would have happened or should have happened if written properly. You want to know what this guy says? What this insignificant little says back? We'll let Peter know he's got an open invitation to the Philippines, Pedro. Thanks for writing in. Are you fucking serious? He wrote that with a straight face. What was the point? No, seriously, what was the point? What? I don't understand it. You showed this letter for a reason. You showed this long, passionate letter for a goddamn reason, and you dismissed it with a sentence not even acknowledging the concerns he raised, not even mentioning Mary Jane, not even mentioning the state of the books. What did you put this in for? What? I'm baffled. I can't believe this. I really can't. This man is in charge of the books. I can't believe it. This is incredible. This, honestly, unbelievable. That is shocking. Shocking behavior for the fan, like from the guy to the fans. My head is on fire. That is unbelievable.
Something wrong? Patrick? You're sweating.
Guess what, guys? It somehow gets worse. Can you believe that? It gets worse. So, Nick thanks Zeb Wells for agreeing to extend his run for an extra 5 issues because this was apparently meant to be his final story on the book. So that means that the entire point of hiring this hack was to break up Peter and Mary Jane. Why? Why? So did you just fucking panic when you realized how badly you screwed up this time? When you saw how well Ultimate Spider-Man was doing in comparison to your mutated abomination that you call the Amazing Spider-Man? The funny part is, as well, it seems like that's the case, especially since One More Day was mentioned in this issue. During the stupid big "You're a hero, Peter" moment, it shows a web of his life and all the tragic events, and one literally includes that godforsaken story. Are they trying to give us some form of a bait to get our interest back into the book? Are we seriously resorting to cheap tricks again for interest? They're so fucking pathetic, man. I can't stand this bunch of morons we're stuck with. This is it for me. This was the final nail in the coffin. I don't think it can get worse anymore because we are quite literally at the lowest point of rock bottom. You know, they could kill him off, and, you know, we're already that low, it wouldn't even go any lower. We're already dead. He's basically dead. He might as well be dead. That's what they want, though, isn't it? They want Peter to be dead. They've been acting like this for the past so many years, just trying to replace him at every chance they can get. Also, did anyone else find it weird that now Zeb Wells gives him like this one big moment of how he's a hero, even though throughout the entire series, he never treated Peter like a hero once? Not once! But now he's a hero? You wrote him to be the biggest loser in comics. He was getting bashed by everyone. He had to beg Tombstone to not kill him. He had to beg Norman to help him from the Vulture. The Vulture! Are you serious? Now he's a hero? He couldn't beat up an old man with cancer, but all of a sudden he's the best hero in existence? Piss off, like, this is bullshit. What are they doing to the character I love? I have to generally read some sort of classic Spidey story just to remind myself, oh, hey, I do actually like this character. Because Zeb Wells writes him this so poorly that you'll forget why you even care. And the worst part is, this basically came out around the time of Spider-Man Day. So, you know, this is like their big, massive, happy Spider-Man Day. He's a massive loser. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm gonna go read Spider-Man Blue or some shit like that just so I can just remember the good old days that I wasn't even alive for. I'm genuinely sorry for you guys too, because I usually try to follow a form of a script, but I've quite literally gone off the script completely. I even just stopped writing and went, okay, let's just record this, because I am that angered by the way that the Spider-Man comics have going that I'm just running off pure rage. I'm like Nick Fury at this point in Ultimate Alliance when he saw Doom just wreak havoc on everything. I am beyond furious. I can't be bothered anymore. This is honestly, it ruins me. It breaks my heart because I love this character. I want him to have good books, and he hasn't had good books in the longest of times. We've got Ultimate Spider-Man, sure, but that's it. It's not even set in the 616. Why? What did he do to deserve this? Seriously. It's just really sad because Zeb Wells and Nick Lowe have genuinely killed this character. The Spider-Man books are dead, and it's thanks to these two morons who refuse to do anything worthwhile in their meaningless existence.
Where's the love?
But that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe, because here any support means so much. I have to end it here because I could rant for hours on end about the whole state of the books and how much I despise this entire run. But there's got to be a cutting point somewhere, and I'm going to put it here. So yeah, I'd love to hear what you thought of this issue down below in the comment section, and just even the entire state of the books. We can start a conversation. Be sure to tune in next time, same web channel. Thank you guys again for watching, and see you in the next one.